Hi guys, Bean is here, and I don't know, been thinking to make a video, but I don't know what to make it about or what to talk about. So I was kind of browsing and watching other videos on YouTube, so that kind of gave me an idea. I'm not sure if I talked about this or mentioned it before in one of my videos that I've made. Um, I'm a type 1 diabetic. I have type 1 diabetes. So I was diagnosed when I was 7 years old. So that was about 21 years ago. I'm 27, about gonna turn 28 next year in a couple months. But anyway, uh, I'm not exactly gonna go into details on how I got diagnosed and what really happened during the time that I got diagnosed. But I rarely tell anyone about my diabetes, and it's not because I'm ashamed of my diabetes or because I want to keep it a secret, but it's more of the reason why I don't tell anybody or that I rarely tell anybody is because every time or almost every time that I tell somebody or somebody new, they always come out with these dumb, stupid things about what they think about diabetes. And I have a coworker, whether I know she is a 1 or not, type 2, whether I know that she really is a type 2 or not, she, oh my god, she comes with the dumbest things about diabetes, about type 1, type 2, and whichever type that. Anyway, she comes up with the dumbest things ever. And it bothers me because every time that we talk, talk, it's not all every day or every time I see her, we see each other, she talks about diabetes. But when she does, she's like, "Oh, us diabetics, we don't feel certain things or this or that or we." She talks about diabetes in general as if like whichever things that she feels, everybody with diabetes feels. If I'm making sense in any of this, like sex wise, just because she doesn't want to have sexual relationships with her husband means that everybody else, females are or males, whichever, doesn't mean everybody's gonna feel the same way. Like she's late 50s or so, like late 40s, early, like around that age. And I get it. When you're around that age, you just don't want to have any of that stuff with your partner. But just because she feels that way doesn't mean I'm gonna feel that way. Do I make sense? And I don't know, she talks about the dumbest things. And I've tried explaining to her and telling her that just because she feels a certain way doesn't mean I'm gonna feel the same way as she does. It's like, it bothers me. Because a lot of people, when I tell them I have diabetes, they start talking about this nonsense, and I'm like, dude, just because your best friend's grandma's sister niece has diabetes doesn't mean her diabetes is gonna be the same way as mine. I don't know if I'm making any sense with any of you out there that watch my videos. If any of you do, I hope that you understand what I'm trying to come up or what I'm trying to say here. I hope that you do. If you have diabetes, whether it's type 1 or type 2, whichever type you are, I hope I'm making sense and any of this that I'm telling you. Because there's always going to be that one person that thinks they know all about it and everything about diabetes. And that is one of the reasons I rarely tell anybody, because there's always going to be that one person or persons that they think they know everything about diabetes because their grandma's best friend's sister's niece has it, or because their grandma has diabetes. So, do I make sense, or am I making sense? See, that's one of the reasons I rarely tell anybody. I mean, I'm gonna talk about it, especially at my job place, just in case my blood sugar goes really high or really low, in hopes that one of my coworkers is gonna understand and try and help me if I'm having a hard time or problems with my diabetes. So of course I'm gonna talk about it, like I said, but it's not gonna be everybody in the world. So, but that's one of the reasons I rarely tell anybody. I mean, yes, I constantly check my blood sugar, inject myself, and all that. Sorry, guys. But that's one of the many reasons I tell people. I rarely tell people. Yes, my husband, of course, my mom, and my sister know about my diabetes. And of course, my boyfriend, he knows. And I'm so glad that people that love me and my loved ones, like really close loved ones, they know about my diabetes, and they're always helping me somehow, especially when my blood sugars go really extremely low, which it's one of the hardest things, because I feel like when my blood sugars go extremely high, I can control it somehow. Like, even if I'm drinking too much water, it'll help it lower it down. Of course, with correcting my blood sugar, injecting some insulin, right? Because I don't use pumps. They're too expensive for me, and I don't make much to buy myself a dang pump, insulin pump. So, insulin vials and insulin pens are a lot cheaper than the insulin pump. So, but anyway, what I've dealt with lately, right, so far, it's my blood sugar's going extremely low, like really dang low, like not too bad to the point I had to call the ambulance, but like low that I'm almost having seizures. And it's usually at night when I'm in bed, I wake up almost having seizures, and my boyfriend finds, even if it's a small little piece of candy, he helps me, like, not feed it to me, but like, so I won't choke while I'm taking the piece of candy. And there has been many times where my blood sugar has gone down way too low, to the point I have to call 911. But low to the point that I don't feel half of my body. Half of my body, I can feel it. I can move it normally, like I am right now. But the other half, I don't. I feel it, but at the same time, I don't. If I make sense, like part of my body feels stiff. Like I can rarely move it, and when I'm trying to stand up or walk or something, I always end up falling to the floor, because half of my body, it's numb. I don't feel it. I feel it, but it's not to the point where I can hold myself up, if that makes sense somehow. I don't know if that ever happens to any of you, but at least it happens to me. When I wake up in the morning with a low blood sugar, so, which is not, it feels, I wouldn't say horrendous, but it feels really nasty, really bad. And it bothers me because it's not all the time when this happens that part of my body I don't feel it, and the other part of my body I do. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it doesn't feel pretty at all whatsoever. And sometimes I don't know how to deal with it. Like most times, more often than not, I always end up just laying in bed or just sitting up in bed until I can feel my whole body, where I can feel it like all normal. Even if I'm holding myself up on the chair or like holding myself up somehow, even if it's against the wall or I don't know, just as long as I know I can feel my body, that's when I head to the kitchen and get myself something to eat, so I can feel normal again, and so I don't feel stupefied or dumb or however I feel when my blood sugars got low. Because there was a time where I used to have always, almost every day, my blood sugars were extremely high, where that at some point I used to be in the hospital at least a month and a half because of my blood sugars. And sometimes not sometimes, but it's more often than not, what causes my blood sugars to spike up or go really low, it's stress, and like worrying too much and doing too much. So, like, I'm sure that any of you out there that have diabetes, type 1, type 2, there's a lot of different things that affect you guys, that affects you different than it affects me, right? As, like, let's say I could be drinking a Starbucks coffee right now, or Starbucks coffee, or whichever type of coffee. It could affect me as in, like, lowering my blood sugar instead of spiking it up, like, way high. Or if I'm eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, it could spike it, like, way too high, to the point I'm going to the restroom every 2 minutes. Whereas if you eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, it helps you stabilize it. It just neither goes high nor low. Or if I drink water, it helps me in many ways that it wouldn't help you. Like, if it helps me stabilize it, it might make you spike it up or bring it really low. If I'm making any sense of what I'm talking about right now. Like, there's so many things about diabetes, people with diabetes, that affects each other differently, that it will affect another person with diabetes, if that makes any sense. So, but anyway, I don't know, just kind of like dumb idea of making a video for you guys, because it's been like about 2 weeks that I uploaded a video, which I know it wasn't the most pleasant video that I made so far, about 2 weeks ago, but I try and come up with ideas for you guys to make videos, which is gonna be every week or every 2 weeks that I'm gonna be uploading a video for you guys. Just gotta keep ideas coming up, or whichever comes up for me to make a video for you guys, even if it's the most boring video ever. But I'm gonna try and upload a video for you guys every week, or every so often, so I don't leave you guys hanging. If any of you watch my videos, I'm gonna try my hardest to make a video every week or every 2 weeks. So even if you don't watch, if you do, hey, we're buddies. You know that I'm alive and I'm not dead, that I'm okay, even if uploading a video every afternoon. But anyway, too much talking. So I hope you guys are trying to, I hope you guys understand of what I'm trying to talk, or what I was trying to say about diabetes. I'm not gonna go into much detail of how I got diagnosed with type 1, or juvenile diabetes, as it used to be called back then, which now it's called type 1. But if any of you want to know the story of how I got diagnosed and all the symptoms that I had and all of that jazz, let me know. Comment it down below on the comment section below. So, and if any of you guys want to follow me in any other social media that I have, it'll be down on the info box down below. So I hope you like, comment, and subscribe if you want. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.